coming up on Now You Made It Awkward podcast.
Which, by the way, we didn't even talk about that. For her birthday, guys, she made me go to the mall again. I had to go to the mall and go clothes shopping for her. This is what we have to do as adults.
You had fun.
When?
You had fun.
No, I had fun when we went to the brewery after that.
Oh.
I appreciate that Trump plays into it. He actually said, oh, thank God. I'm so glad you guys are out there making sure there's no king that can take away my power, but I'm still your president, so I'm glad you're all out there. It's like, the man is trolling them hardcore.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of
I want to go back.
I would like to also go to Boston with you, but I would
Yes.
also like to spend half that time drinking.
There's a lot of breweries. The Samuel Adams was I was not far from the Samuel Adams Brewery.
So let's take a pause because I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
The coffee has kicked in, and you can go have a schmiggerette.
Okay.
A schmiggerette, and
Right.
then we'll come back and continue the story, and I'll talk about the Unsub live show.
All right.
Oh, look at you. You got your hair down. You know.
My hair's been down.
I know, but like it's different now. It's
I
different.
brushed it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was watching a very funny
It's
video
frizzy,
there.
but
I would like to say I took a good poop.
I just tooted.
Good for you. And there was another thing I was going to say when I came back in here, and I forgot what it was now, but my eye is itching. All right, so we've heard enough about Boston for now. Make sure we are recording again. Yes. So we're already well over 2 hours here, so we need to make sure that we keep this a reasonable length while also still discussing our trips.
Yeah. So my Sunday
Well, I was going
is not as long, but
yeah.
go ahead
So
and talk about your day.
because my day Saturday was not nearly as crazy because I've already gotten to the point where I got to the unsubscribed show. So realistically, going there, like I already mentioned, everything else. So we're in line. We are waiting. Me and my line buddies are just talking about whatever. It was, like I said, a couple from Odessa, a couple of Hispanic dudes who were there together, and then my boy Garrett. And when we went through the line, it was kind of funny. So we had merch that we were already going to get, including this shirt. So the Geneva suggestion shirt was already part of it. This hat, as you guys can see right behind me, so unsubscribe podcast hat, very similar to the Fat Electrician merch. All of it was from Bunker Branding. There was a specific tour shirt. Not sticker, not shirt. So, and that is already stuck on the travel box out there. I already did that. And then the unsubscribe, I forgot my camera's backwards to what I actually do. If you guys can see right here is the unsubscribe purple heart from the Stolen Valor tour, which was last year's. So we're waiting in line. I got a few pictures here. I'll put up on the screen. So the problem I have is most of my photos are on this camera in front of me. So the ones that I showed you already a little bit are on this phone because I was doing both back and forth. So the whole point of the Unsubscribe Live is literally going to watch a live podcast happen. And you go, why the fuck would anybody pay money to go watch several dudes sit around a table and talk? One, because it was fucking hilarious. Two, I don't want to say it's for a good cause, but these guys all have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for charities towards autism or veterans and stuff like that. Everybody supports something. We've talked about Angry Cops and his whole thing with the Buffalo school system and all that. So the cool thing is because so many more people are retired now than they were the last couple tours, Angry Cops is going to be at virtually every show. So as long as he doesn't have drill that weekend. HLC, Habitual Line Crosser, now that he's fully retired, he's going to every show. So that was awesome to see him. Now the part that sucks, did not get to meet those guys, not technically. At the end of the show, as I'll talk about, it's the only time I got to speak directly to Ethan, Habitual Line Crosser. And for like 2 seconds, I said hi to Rich. So, but we're waiting in line, and then Zach, veteran with a sign, who's also going to be going along because he's got to tell the very famous donkey story. he was walking through and he came through and shook all our hands, like literally like the last 10 of us in line. We're all standing there talking to him. We mentioned something about Echelon. And he was like he was basically the one who brought Echelon energy drinks to the unsubscribed guys. And that's how they ended up getting into business with it. So pretty neat. Also, I would like to say that as part of this tour, they announced a brand new set of flavors that are unsubscribed. So Echelon is an energy drink usually meant for the military, so it's high in caffeine, like 300 milligrams caffeine per can, but also, sweet and spicy. So usually there's some type of peppers involved. But because most of the guys don't really like the spicy that much, they came out with 2 new flavors that are not spicy at all and lower caffeine. So roughly 150 or 100 to 200 milligrams. They have a brand new one. It's a cherry lime, what do they call it? Landmine, I think is what it is. And the other one is basically like a cola flavor because Brandon Herrera, who is currently running for Congress, loves his Jack and Cokes. So basically it's like a Jack and Coke flavored thing. No alcohol, just energy drink. So if you subscribed to that ordering system, so basically you got to sign up for a 90-day subscription, and it refills every 30 days. So 26 cans every 30 days.
Nice.
Of both flavors. So we'll have a bunch of that in the house here soon. So,
I know. I want to try it.
yeah, it's going to be good. So I did want to mention that because they're teamed up with Echelon. They had the new cans on stage so you could see it and be like, hey, what the hell? But also we ended up getting some of the new Echelon unsub merch as well behind the scenes. And I would like to point this out because speaking of Zach, veteran with a sign, so it was a long line of like 50 people, give or take, or maybe it was probably closer to like 30, to do the meet and greet. And that's what we're in line for. We're all waiting in the wings, literally, to get up behind stage and do that. We're near the end of it. So we're just all bullshitting because we can't even get to the celebrities just yet. So we're waiting in line. We get to the point where we're at the stairs going up into the stage. And I've got pictures from behind the scenes a little bit here. I'll put them on the screen. And Jake, who is the unsubscribed lawyer, who also now is a co-host of the Man vs. Morning podcast, and used to work for Corridor Digital. You know those guys that I watch all the time on the VFX breakdowns? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he used to work for them.
Oh, okay.
And was one of
They're the ones who break down like special effects in movies. Oh,
that's exactly right. So he lives here now, and he works specifically with Pepperbox, helped get Pepperbox off the ground and all this other stuff, and is now creating his own content with these guys. But also, spoilers, he's been bullied by Nick, the fat electrician, to make his own content now, where he breaks down legal situations. So he's like, I will do that if you tell me the things I need to go investigate and look up and everything else like that. So he said he will have his own channel coming up doing that sometime soon. Because I talked to him directly, because we're standing in line for a while, and he's like stage managing basically. He's got the full headset and everything. I did get a picture with Jake. Nice talking to you. That was really cool. I told him I miss his ad reads on Corridor because it used to be that even when he was really involved all the time, whenever they did the 1.5, 2 minute ad reads, he would do them. And you could see when it switched from him being in studio with those guys to when he moved to Texas because he was doing it remotely. So it's pretty cool. So he is pretty instrumental in how a lot of the current setup in the unsubscribed universe is inside the greater San Antonio area. Yeah. So he's very instrumental in it. And I asked him, I was like, hey, what's it like having so many more bullets in your backyard now? Because if Brandon doesn't want to go down to drive tanks to shoot stuff, he shoots it in Jake's backyard because he's got acreage.
Nice.
It's kind of funny. So now Jake is in every Brandon Herrera video by default because he's shooting in his backyard. So it was pretty funny. So I talked to him, and then I was mentioning veteran with the sign, Zach, and he was running around. The green room was right there. We could see other celebrities going in and out that I won't mention who were there, but it was really cool to see them. Didn't get a chance to talk to any of them, but they were there. They were going in and out of the back room, along with the wives of everybody were also there, which we did get to meet a couple of them. So Zach was standing there watching the guys, and I said, hey, Zach, come here. And he's like, he was clearly like, okay, hold on, And I'm glad he did. I felt like I was bugging him a little bit. He wasn't busy, but he was doing something. And he came over, and he's like, what's up, man? And I'm like, hey, I saw the other day that you posted that another friend of yours passed away. Like, so if you don't know who Veteran with a Sign is, basically, like, he's really, really a big advocate, not a tall one, but a big one, for veterans of PTSD and suicide awareness and stuff like that. So if you follow Veteran with a Sign, either on Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, you always see him standing against a brick wall holding up a cardboard handwritten sign that says something. But he posted the other day another close friend of his passed away. I don't think it was due to suicide. I think it was something else. But I asked him, I was like, hey, man, I saw you've posted about that. And he's like, yeah, man, literally today is his funeral. I'm like, oh, that fucking sucks, buddy. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I was telling him about Hefe, and I said, hey, my co-host was in the military. He was in the Army. He deals with PTSD and, you know, finally getting through the VA bullshit and getting therapy and help that he needs, both to control his mental issues and his health and stuff like that. And it was a struggle, but he's finally coming through the other side of it. And, you know, I told him, is like, you know, I wasn't in the military, but I've dealt with a lot of depression, a lot of things like that, and suicidality. And I said, like, Zach is an inspiration to people to not give up. Yeah. And I thanked him for that. And like, I know he's used to hearing that from people and stuff like that, but I don't know if, like, just me taking the minute to ask him about how he's doing and bringing up the fact that his friend passed away. He did give me something. He's like, hey, man, hold on a sec here. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out this. If you guys can see this on screen, it's a really cool unsubscribe, like heavy duty, like it's metal heavy coin. Like, this is really a solid heavy metal coin. But I didn't look at the back of it until the next day and realize it's an Echelon coin, because of course he's part of Echelon and everything else like this. What I didn't know, because he told me, he's like, here you go, man, that's like one of, like, I don't know, like 2,000 or whatever coins. And I was like, neat. I was like, thanks. I was like, I didn't know what to even say at that point. I didn't ask for anything. I just wanted to talk to the guy and shake his hand, and he gave it to me. But he is also an ambassador for the brands that he's bought into, so that's that. And so what it turns out it is tied to the Echelon release that I just mentioned. So if you bought in for the first 2,400 people that signed up for the Echelon bundle subscription, you actually get this coin along with a few other things. So it was just kind of neat that Zach gave me this. So I got a nice, somewhat unique, or at least limited edition item out of that. Didn't expect it, didn't technically need it, but it was really cool. I was more happy to just talk to the man himself, you know, that kind of stuff. And leading up to that point, yes, I did get to meet the unsubscribed guys. Just the core four directly. I really, really wanted to fucking talk to Rich. Didn't get a chance to, but it is what it is. And it was about as cool as you think. The funny part is that Nick is the first guy you talk to. He goes, hey, man, I'm Nick. I'm like, I know who you are. It's like, and then it was Nick, Eli, Brandon, and Donut. And they were almost in their normal seating position, but Nick and Eli were reversed. And Eli was dressed to the nines. He wears the fucking full, like, two-piece suit, pocket watch, everything. He dresses up for this shit. But Nick is wearing his fucking quack bang gear and his fucking trucker hat, like that one, basically, and everything else like that. And Cody and Brandon are dressed exactly alike as usual, wearing their poncho shirts and their jeans and their nice boots and stuff. And they've all been doing the fitness challenge, so all of them are looking really fucking fit. And Nick is no longer the fat electrician. He's the thick electrician, but he's not the fat one anymore. So I talked to the guys briefly. He's like, hey, man, where are you from? I said, like, Houston area. I was like, oh, and they're like, yeah, that's kind of a drive. And I'm like, yeah, it did suck, but there's people here, like the people who were behind me you're about to talk to, they came from Odessa, much further away. You know, they drove here from Odessa. So, and then I told them, I was like, you know, you guys have been an inspiration for this show. And then I told them I thought it was hilarious that, you know, you're literally sitting here and you've watched this show grow as I've done this. You saw how I used to do the old podcast, babe.
Yeah.
These 3 cameras I have set up, these camera phones, is literally how they used to do unsubscribe when they first got started. Like, so Eli has the knowledge from being in the film industry and stuff like that, and it was Batty who really wanted to get the podcast going in the military sense. And then I don't know exactly how Cody got involved, but it was Batty, Cody, and Eli. And then Brandon came along, and then Nick got brought in by Cody at that point. Because Cody's literally like, hey, man, you want to come be on my podcast? It was like episode 60 or something like that, real early on in the podcast history. And so I think it was just funny. I was like, it's interesting that we modeled this show a little bit after Unsub. Of course, we have the offenders and stuff like that, which I did bring up the fact that we have our own offenders group. And they're like, okay, well, what's your superpower? And I told them, and I was like, well, I can do like reality bending. It's like, well, okay, what's the offset? I'm like, somebody somewhere dies. They're like, well, that's actually a pretty useful superpower. You got to hope that maybe it's China or Russia. That thing is like, yeah, but you also got to think that if I'm trying to rescue a large group of people, I might accidentally kill all the cops and firefighters nearby. I don't have any control over that. So we talked about that kind of stuff, and I told them, it's like, I'm glad that Brandon's running for Congress and standing up for things that he believes in, and trying to get somebody who's truly like believes in Republican ideals and conservative ideals in there instead of Tony Gonzalez. I didn't get a chance to call Tony gay, but that's fine. Everybody else did. That was part of the show. Had a whole Tony breakdown. So met them. Donut is literally as awkward as person as you would expect. Like, while being an entertainer and somebody who literally lives on camera in front of so many people, he literally is so weird when it comes to just interactions. It was just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Brandon being a Congress guy who's run for everything and has to do a lot of public speaking and stuff like that. He's actually really good at it. Eli is an entertainer, so that's not a problem. And then Nick is, Nick. So that was a lot of fun. Talked to those guys for a minute. I got Savannah, Eli's lovely fiance. They're not married yet now, but they finally got engaged after 4 years or so. So,
must be nice.
Bitch, we're married on paper.
Yeah, but you never
we are married on paper, and you know it.
You never proposed.
The proposal
You're
was,
like, hey, let's just go get this done so you can stay on my insurance.
First of all, my proposal was, baby, I think we should add you to my insurance. And that right there is literally.
It's a business transaction.
It was a living transaction to keep you alive.
So, do we file still as married? No.
We don't. We never have. We should. But if we don't have benefits, there's no reason to.
Yeah.
Either way. So Sav took the pictures. But the only criticism I have is that she's taking pictures from like 30 feet away in vertical.
Somehow I would do.
Yeah, but she is an influencer and she's like a model and all this other stuff. Is like, you could take better pictures than this girl. Come on.
Yeah.
But there was this blonde chick there taking pictures for something. She's like, we asked her, I was like, hey, what are you taking all these pictures behind the scenes for? She's like, I don't actually know. They just hired me to take pictures. It was like, I don't know where they're going to go. It was like probably like some kind of tour book or something because they don't have a website. So it's like, where are these going to go? Mm-hmm. So they got a lot of pictures of us at the end of the group. It was kind of funny. Nice. Like us, our literally tour group or our line buddies. Mm-hmm. We all got together for pictures and stuff like that. And because we're all VIP, we're all sitting effectively in the same area too.
Yeah.
So at that point, we all get shuffled out so the show can get started. I was thirsty, and so I wanted to go get a drink of some sort and tried to go get in line at the bar. They had 3 bars. They had one smaller bar set up inside the theater. There was a big bar out front, and then there was another small one set up somewhere. The line for the bar inside was long, but there was like nobody at the bar outside. They literally told us. So I ran out there. I got 2 Jack and Coke doubles, and it cost me $70 fucking for 2 drinks. Wow. $70 fucking, but they weren't like, this is actually small. Like if you overfilled this, it would have been as much as I got.
So you got a good quantity.
Yeah, and it wasn't even Coke. They gave me Pepsi, which is already weird, but it's fine. I guess I don't do Coke in that venue. I don't care. I like Pepsi, but the point was it was Pepsi and Jack. So I drank on those for a while, and then the only other thing is it is an old-ass theater. The seats are the old-school flip-down theater seats. Mm-hmm. I don't mean movie theater. I mean, like, theater, performance theater. Mm-hmm. And there's no cup holders. So you're going to put your drink on the ground, which is on a steep fucking slope. But because they know what's going to happen here, and they serve drinks, there's drains in the floor everywhere. So when I went to go sit down, I actually spilled a bit of my drink because they were literally to the fucking rim. Yeah. Like, if they underfilled that bitch, I would have been pissed. And didn't have like a fuck ton of ice, just enough to keep it cold. So, I mean, they poured good drinks, but not $35 fucking a piece worth. I didn't even tip the guy. I was like, I'm not tipping you for 2 drinks that cost this fucking much.
Yeah.
Normally I would, but either way, it was cool. Eventually, I got Garrett's attention. He was sitting about 6 seats down to my left. I was like, motherfucker, hey. because I kind of bought 2 drinks because I told him I'd pay him back for the beer he bought that he got to give me. I didn't mention that earlier. He bought 2 beers, and he figured it was smart. Just buy 2 drinks, save time, right? So he drank one of the beers while he was standing in line. I drank the beer he gave me while standing in line. I told him I'd get him back later. He had overall, I think he had 4 beers and 4 mixed drinks. So he was shit-faced by the end. So I'll talk a little bit about what happened during the show, but I'm not going to give away a lot because it's just too much to talk about. But basically, they brought out the core 6 people who were going to be on there. The original 4 plus, or the main 4 plus HLC and Angry Cops. But Angry Cops, because he is a fucking showman and he is a stand-up comedian, effectively. He comes out dressed like Macho Man Randy Savage. He's got a pink fucking all-leather getup with fucking, I think it had fringe on it. He had a big old cowboy hat. He had the giant fucking like Pit Viper sunglasses on there. And he's waving his 2x4 with the American flag on it. So every single show, baby.
Yes.
Every single show.
So you were doing the same thing.
I know. But I'm just...
I have a couple reps messaging me.
Oh.
So I'm telling them I'm off today. I'll contact them tomorrow. So.
That's fine. But so every single show, Rich will go out and get a 2x4 and a new American flag and staple to it, and he waves it around, comes outside, runs around with it, and then near the end of the show, they give it away to the audience.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he literally threw a 2x4 with a flag on it into the audience for somebody to catch. But it was directed. It wasn't just hurled,
Yeah.
So either way, they basically individually go through a story. They start with Nick doing Nick's, today we're going to talk about, whatever. So we learned about the watermelon wars. Didn't even know about this, but apparently it's a very historical thing that happened down around the Panamania area where the Panama Canal was being formed. Basically, we being American, had to deal with some shit that happened down there. Very interesting. Never heard that story before. I think Eli was basically hosting. Eli didn't really technically do a story like everybody else did, now that I think about it. Because Rich talked about drill instructor stuff, which was fun. And then Brandon eventually got to talking about, political stuff. Tony, he had a Tony story because I got to talk about Tony Gonzalez. And then Donut told a really, really horrible story about when he was a cop. And the reason I gagged is because they were talking about a woman who had a particular issue down below, and how her boyfriend liked the taste of the issue. Yeah. So that was disgusting. And then HLC told us a story about how he got a big old dent in his ass. A permanent dent. If it were. The other guys, because the show is scripted to a degree, they have their things that they're all going to say, and then whatever random shit that happens in between, especially the audience yelling things out, diverts the actual show a little bit. But it was off. I can't even tell you how much fun it was. I literally almost shit myself laughing at one point. I thought I did. I was like, oh fuck. Well, nothing I can do about it now. I'm trapped. I didn't even use the bathroom there. But I did get signatures, so I wanted to show this off real quick. So I do have a signed poster that was part of the VIP experience. I do have the VIP merch that is back here for the most part. The stickers are on the mobile box because that's what I'm doing now. Any time I get a sticker from somewhere, I put it on the mobile box. But because even though I had this hat right here that I purchased, I didn't get that signed because it was in my bag. I got the hat that was on my head signed because I'm a fucking moron. So this is my Boston Scally first responder, gray camo. So I got the Fat Electrician on here first, which is, sorry, my camera's reversed here. So I got the Fat Electrician, Nick there. And then I've got HLC, and I asked him to sign it as Buff, because you hear me watching his videos all the time, right? So that was Grandpa Buff. I got him to sign there. I don't know whose signature this is in particular, because it looks like a 4 with an L, so I'm not entirely certain whose that is. I know I gave my hat. It eventually got to Rich to sign, but I don't know what he signed or where he signed it. Right here on this side, this is Finn. Finn is their camera guy who always gets fired for fucking up. So we had already talked to him while we were waiting in line, and he was out there getting pictures and shit near the end, so I got him to sign my hat. Then I don't know who this is. I'm not entirely certain. It looks like it says Tyler. Kind of. I have no idea. I don't actually know who signed that.
When they do, just take your hat and pass it around to everybody?
No, everybody came up to the edge of the stage at the end to get signed. And then I've got this one back here, the black. So there was only a couple people who signed in black. I did hand it to fuck, why am I drawing up? Zach. So Zach signed it somewhere, but I don't know. Because that looks like it says Tyler Peel, which doesn't make any sense. But I know I handed it to Angry Cops. I handed it to Zach. So
I think Zach could be the one that looks almost like a 4.
I've thought about that.
Because to me, I thought about it.
It might be, but that's not his name, so to speak, so I'm not entirely certain. That could have also been Angry Cops because I don't know what color he was signing with. So, but it could be Sylvia, which also doesn't make any sense because no females signed it that I could remember. I'm trying to think of who all was standing there. I never got to Brandon to get it to sign. I never got it to Donut to sign because they were at the end of the line. I didn't see that. So I don't know who technically signed it, but there was extra celebrities outside who I knew were going to be there, but just the fact that they were hanging out was crazy. So the show ends. We go outside. You know, the whole crowd of people goes out there. The couple of people who were sitting near me, I talked to them for a little bit. And then I was looking around, and I'm like, wait a minute, I fucking know that face. And I was like, that's fucking Gary from Nerdrotic, a huge nerd channel, movie reviews, critiques, all this kind of shit. And he's a friend of the Unsub show. So, and he's been on a couple times. He lives in San Antonio now. And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? It's like, I knew you said you were going to be here. It's fucking crazy you're standing out front. Nobody's talking to him. Nobody. He's standing there with this older lady, which I think was with them. And then I didn't recognize the person standing next to him immediately. And then it clicked who he was. It's Quarter Black Garrett, who used to be on the Crowder show and is now on Normal World, his own news comedy show. And he also goes on like Friday Night Tights and other type of nerd show and everything else like that. I was like, and they're friends. They're always together doing shit. So I was like, holy shit. So I got a picture with those guys. I'll put it up. I got several pictures with those guys that I put up on Twitter. And those pictures fucking blew up. Like as soon as I tagged them on there and I said, hey, nice meeting you guys outside of Unsub and stuff like that. And I've never had a Twitter post fucking blow up at all. So for me, yay, nice. But talked to Gary a little bit about Lord of the Rings because it's like his jam. And to talk to him about TV, nerdery, stuff like that. Talked to Garrett just very briefly. Because finally, other people realize, it's like, oh, hey, there's some other fucking celebrities standing around doing nothing. And so I talked to those guys for a minute, then I went back to talk to the other people I was hanging out with. And then another non-celebrity, but somebody important to Unsub was there, a guy named Ethan. Big guy. Big dude. Also very broad as well, so very, very overweight gentleman. But I was like, he looked kind of familiar, but I heard him and his other friend talking to somebody about weight loss, and I was like, oh, are you doing the weight loss challenge? He's like, yeah, I am, but I was already losing weight to begin with, and I've been following these guys forever, and I'd connected through some other things, and I actually came out and I was supposed to do a show with them. Like they're supposed to, then they ran out of time, but we went out and did some other stuff earlier in the day after we had brunch together. So he used to weigh like 660 pounds.
Oh, wow.
He was fucking gigantic. And he's down, I think he said at this point was down to like 4 something. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Totally amazing. And so he was still working on it, but now I'm following him on Twitter now. And literally yesterday he posted a weight update and he had lost 12 pounds since his last check-in.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, he's reaching that problem where it's real easy to lose the first couple hundred. But he's eating good, exercising, and everything else like that. He's still a massive human being. Like he's tall too. He's like 6'3". Like he's like tall and heavy.
Yeah.
So, But then I saw his post later with the unsub guys, and I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. So talked to him for a minute, heard about his story and things like that, and then the shout out to this guy named Kenny, young dude. He's like 20 something, and he's in I think he said he's in the Air Force now, but like he's wearing his unsubscribed undiagnosed shirt, and the fact that he literally comes from a family with 3 kids and all of them have some form of autism was interesting. But he's a military guy. He's gone through a lot of stuff. Super smart dude.
Yeah.
So he got a chance. He talked to all of them briefly and thanked them for their service and everything he does for both military and in the autistic community and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. Talked to him for a minute, learned about his story and things like that. Never saw the Garrett I was hanging out with again. So he must have disappeared into an Uber because he was shit-faced by the end of that show. And it was a clusterfuck getting out of there. Only because like I was literally stuck against the stage because of the crowd. It was like I went up there to get a couple things signed. That's where I was happy that they came back out to do that shit. And so that was a fuckload of fun. And then I went back to my hotel, which, like I said, was 3 blocks away. And I was hungry at that point, and it's close to midnight, give or take. I think it was around about 11. And I talked to you because you were still awake. I could barely fucking talk.
I think I had just gotten back from dinner because I had a good place. I ate dinner at a good place.
Yeah. And then I didn't feel like trying to actually get to a restaurant. I didn't think the room service or anything was going to be there. So coincidentally, diagonally to my hotel was Voodoo Donuts.
Nice.
So I said, fuck it. I never had Voodoo Donuts. Went over there. It was everything you think Voodoo Donut is. It's a donut place that has a lot of donuts and a weird vibe. And a person who had a he/him fucking name tag on. Good for you, I guess. So I got a pumpkin, kind of a pumpkin spice donut, which I didn't realize what it was. It was actually a layered cake donut. Like it had different layers to it, but it's cakey. And I was like, it's fucking shaped weird. What the hell? Why is it? This is not a donut. And then I looked at it. Oh, it's a pumpkin. I was looking at it from the wrong angle. It's like it literally is the shape of a pumpkin. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then I got a churro donut, which was pretty fucking good. And then I got their standard like voodoo doll donut, and I forgot that it was stuffed with raspberry preserves. And I was like, oh god. It was good other than that, but. And then that's when I found out that a longtime friend of mine, another Kevin that I've worked with for well over a decade, was also in town and was no joke a quarter mile away. They were staying downtown as well on their family vacation. They said they had a fall break. I'm like, why the fuck is there a fall break? I was like, doesn't even make sense. You go for a winter break. I was supposed to meet up with them Saturday morning. But by the time I got out of my hotel and just got on the road to go do what I wanted to do, they hadn't even gotten out of bed yet.
Oh, wow.
Like, so I was legit on the other side of town at 11 o'clock when they went down to Voodoo Donuts because their kids love donuts. So he texted me. He's like, hey, we just got to Voodoo. I was like, dude, I'm like 20 miles away already. He's like, I didn't know what time you're going to be there, and I couldn't hang out at my hotel anymore.
Yeah.
So I did get the continental breakfast, which was okay. Could have been better.
Usually it's just okay.
But I wasn't going to go try to find a fucking breakfast place, you know. I had some reasonable coffee. I had 3 fucking cups of coffee that day. I had 2 cups of coffee at the hotel, and then I got Starbucks while I was killing time. That's when I talked to you.
Would you get a pumpkin spice latte?
What do you think I got? I got a pumpkin spice latte. But I got it iced because it was a hot day.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's Saturday morning. I slept for a few hours, woke up feeling pretty good, not a whole lot of pain, even though that bed was fucking horrible. I'll say that. And then that's when I took a shower in the morning and found out that it was very poorly designed.
Yeah.
Because also, no drain for the fucking... Like, if you got the floor soaked, you got to mop it the fuck up because it's not going anywhere. I know we had that one hotel. I think it was in Maryland, right?
Yeah, it's kind of walk-in, but it had a little lip.
It had the walk-in shower for
handicap.
it had a roll-in shower, but it had a drain in the middle of the floor for any water.
Yeah.
This, unfortunately, did not. So there was water everywhere. And you could tell they had redesigned this hotel at some point because it had a fucking sliding barn door for the bathroom. when it clearly would have had a fucking regular door in the past.
Yeah.
And it was very hard to roll. Good luck latching the motherfucker. If we had been in there together, we would not have been pooping because, like, with no ventilation or anything, and, like, here's the bathroom, here's the bed. Like, it was like our old apartment. Where, where it was like the bathroom door was right here, the bed is right fucking here. Like, it would have been bad. Yeah. Especially considering there was no ventilation. And the fact the AC was leaking. So basically, I got the fuck out of my hotel room, got dressed, all the other stuff, talked to you at some point. I don't remember when you called me, but you had gotten up and you were headed to Salem.
Yep.
Yep. So we don't have pictures for this currently.
No.
But you can just run through in a reasonable amount of time your Salem adventure.
Yeah. It was an adventure. So I wanted to take the ferry over from Boston to Salem. It was like an hour-long ferry.
What was the boat's pronouns?
I don't know.
I'm just joking because it was a ferry.
Oh, they, them. No, so I found parking, and it was like an all-day parking for like $44 to $46, which is not bad because there's so much to do in that area. Yeah. So when I got to the window, the girl was like, "Oh, well, the ferry's canceled to Salem due to rough seas, but you can take the train."
Yeah, so I thought that was funny because it was like literally like beautiful weather, but there was enough
it was
wind.
Windy.
Yeah,
it was windy. It was choppy. So she's like, "Oh, you can take the train." I'm like, "Okay, well, let me think about it." So I sat down. I went and got a drink, and it was like 11 o'clock that time. And they're like, "Oh, you want alcohol?" And I was like, "No, not ready for alcohol just yet."
I was.
So I got a lemonade. But then I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to take the train to Salem. What an experience, you know? So I asked the lady how to get there. She tells me, she's like, "Well, once you go down this way, you turn here, then you'll see a big Verizon building, and that's where the entrance is to the train station." I'm like, okay, easy enough.
Yeah, because you paid for like a whole day's worth of parking.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, because there's the aquarium there. There's a whole market that they have there that was really cool. So I walked through there to get to the train station. It's like, oh, it's like a 10-minute walk. I'm like, okay, not too bad. Come to be like a 30-minute walk.
Right.
Because I got lost and then I was looking at a lot of stuff. So finally made it to a train station, and I asked the guy, if you took the ferry, you had to buy your tickets separately for the ferry. So you have to pay the $33 to get there and then $33 to come back. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll pay it. So when I get to the train station, I was like, okay, well, I need to get a two-way, to Salem and back. And he's like, okay, this is $10. I'm like, per way? He's like, no, $10 for the whole day. I was like, okay. I said, so when do I come back? He's like, oh, you just kind of get back when the train comes. Like, you just wait for the train and you just come back. I'm like, okay. So I go through the little thing, and I did stop on my way to the train station at this coffee place. And the guy, his girlfriend actually lives not too far from us in the Houston area.
Really?
Yeah. So he's thinking about moving to Sugarland.
Oh, this girlfriend. Yeah. You did tell me about the guy who has his girlfriend.
Yeah, he said he liked my accent. So where I was from, he said it sounded familiar, and I told him, he's like, "Oh my God, my girlfriend lives in Sugarland." He calls it his lady. My lady lives in Sugarland. And I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
It's a dude.
Yeah, he was really nice. He said the only thing is that you can't smoke here. In
Wait,
Texas.
what was the nationality of this gentleman?
He's from Boston.
Nationality there.
He was white.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't know.
Yeah. So
that was me sending. I was sending my pictures to bring up.
Yeah. So then I get on the train. I sit and wait for the train, and you can see like on the board which train is leaving. And I figured, okay, well, everybody who has witches hats on are probably going to Salem, so I'll just follow them.
By the way, what shirt were you wearing?
I was wearing my "Witch Don't Kill My Vibe" shirt.
Didn't we just get that, right?
No.
Wait, what shirt?
I got that years ago.
Oh, I thought we got that at Torrid before we left. Which, by the way, we didn't even talk about that. For her birthday, guys, she made me go to the mall again. I had to go to the mall and go clothes shopping for her. This is what we have to do as adult men.
You had fun.
When?
You had fun.
No, I had fun when we went to the brewery. After that,
Oh,
I did actually. I think I mentioned this at some point. No, because we didn't do a podcast last week. Who the hell did I tell? Oh, the guys at church. That's what I talked about.
yeah.
'Cause
So
we didn't even talk about that weekend. I haven't even talked about anything prior to that.
So I literally had to wait maybe 10 minutes for the next train to Salem.
Yeah.
So I get on the train, and it's one of those double decker trains, and I go to the top, and I sit, and I get a seat to myself.
Did you sit?
Yes,
You
it's
didn't-
a
you
three-seater.
didn't
Had a seat to myself, and felt very safe. Didn't feel like I wasn't safe at all. So the train stopped at 4 different locations to people who live in the area to.
Because it is a commuter.
It is commuter, and
This is not just to go to the one spot.
Yeah. Most people go to the one spot, but some people do get on to get to like Chelsea or Beverly and Newport, kind of different towns in the area.
Yeah.
So we got to Salem, get off. I follow everybody. I just follow the crowd. And the moment you walk in, they're like, hey, here's a map of Salem. And so I got a brochure. It's in my backpack of different things
Oh, that would have
to
been
do. It's like a map and what to do. But there were so many people. So many.
You were warned by a friend of ours that it was going to be stupid touristy. Who were we talking about?
It was that ghost tour lady that said it's very commercialized.
That's right. Very commercialized.
So with it being October, yes, it was a lot. I mean, there was even at one point where you couldn't even walk through the crowd. There were so many people. To get into shops, you had to wait in line. Just because the shops are so small and, break and keep down of, people stealing. So you have to wait in line, and I got in line to go into one shop, and I was like, how long y'all been waiting? Like, I've been waiting 30 minutes. I'm like, 30 minutes? Like, I don't want to sit here and just wait in line. So I didn't buy anything. I took one picture. I ate at a restaurant.
Which is crazy because, you'd think that would be the thing to be able to get a lot of pictures of.
Yeah. I tried to find where the walking tour was, to do one of the witch's house ones. Couldn't find where they were meeting at. The map was taking me all over the place. Finally found where the trolley was, but by that time, now the sun sets at 6 o'clock there. 6 o'clock, it gets dark. I did not want to be walking in Boston in the dark by myself.
In the dark.
So I was in line. I was talking to these two girls. They're really nice. And I was like, look, I'm just going to go ahead and get back on the train. My foot was hurting. I was ready to get back. And I was like, it's a loss, but I made it. And I was happy for that. Like, there was just so much. I think when I go back, or when we go back, it needs to be off season.
And
Like,
also probably
not October.
And probably not on the weekend.
Maybe September would be a good time to go.
I would say not even September. September's still spooky season.
Yeah.
It starts September 1st now.
Yeah.
Probably want to go tail end of summer, hit July.
Yeah. Can it go
early
off
August?
season? Yeah.
Early August. But wait till school starts back.
But when I got there, I didn't realize they were also having the No Kings protest there.
Okay, so let's talk.
But that was at a different location than what all the.
So let's get our
stuff
obligatory political talk in here, because there was a No Kings protest in San Antonio as well, but it was only for 2 hours in this one little park. I was nowhere near it because by the time it started, I had already left town.
Yeah.
Because it was at 4 to 6. I left at 4 o'clock when I left San Antonio. So let's just talk about the No Kings protest just real quick. So you didn't really encounter it, but it was nearby.
I heard cheering. I saw a lot of people on the train with their signs and stuff.
Yeah.
And all that, but nothing crazy.
No. So
I heard a lot of cheering, but it was in a whole different section than where all the tourists were doing their thing. Yeah.
So the whole thing is they're doing these nationwide, actually worldwide, No Kings protests now, and it's retarded. Now, you have a right to protest, especially in this country. You can definitely protest things as long as you're doing it peacefully. Some of them weren't that peaceful because if there were people who disagreed who went, most of them were at least very smallly physically or verbally assaulted for going and wearing like a MAGA hat or something like that. Or
Well, I did wear my red and black flannel.
yes, but that wasn't American in any way, shape, or form.
No.
They probably thought you were Antifa, so you were fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So either way,
I'm not.
So
but-
I just want to talk about it briefly because I think that the No Kings protest is fucking retarded. Because they say it's No Kings, they're clearly targeting Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Because they believe that Donald Trump is trying to establish himself as the new king of America and will abolish the republic and set up a monarchy surrounding the Trump family for forever and ever. They're the only ones who think this.
Yeah.
Like,
I haven't
where
heard anything about
we here in this house are a pretty much moderate conservative family. I come from a moderate conservative family. You know, my mom
I come from a
and-
highly liberal
family. Well, household, not
Yeah.
family, but
Yeah.
I mean your moms, quote unquote, are
Liberal.
well, one of them is extremely liberal, the other one is fairly well moderate but leans left.
Yeah.
Like Sissy is far more moderate than Sarah by far. And I would
Well,
love
we've had our disagreements in our conversations.
Yeah.
But nothing to the point where I'm going to disown my mom or she's going to disown me because I don't agree with her opinion.
True.
It's a respect thing, and it doesn't matter what our political views are. At the end of the day, she's my mom.
And one thing I've discovered, at least with Sarah, is if I can validate my point and not just say random nonsense.
But she doesn't want to listen to that.
But no, we had a real political discussion one time at the house. You were sort of privy to it, but it was something she brought up, and I'm just like, okay, here we go. I know I now have to talk about this. And then when I proved that I could actually hold my own and not just be bullied into submission, we actually came to a middle ground of things. And it's one thing, look, I don't care if you don't like Trump. I don't care if you disagree with his opinions or thoughts or crazy shit he says online.
Yeah.
He's still your president, just like Joe Biden was our president. I fucking hated Joe Biden. I didn't want him dead or anything, but I feel like Joe Biden was the
I honestly don't think Joe Biden was even healthy enough to run our country.
No, he wasn't by any means. But
Either physically or mentally.
it's all been coming out how bad off Joe Biden really was.
Yeah.
And we joked about it for however long about which Joe Biden is this. Joe Biden 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. You know, the clones, the Joe clones. But the point is, nobody did No Kings protest for Biden. And Biden was being pushed forward to be a king by the Democratic side. There was even a time where some Congress members were asking him to take extra executive powers to push through either gun control or solidify abortion, basically trying to bypass the courts in Congress. That would have given him far more authority than the actual president has, meaning he would have been closer to something of a king. Christine, I know you're going to disagree with me, but you actually do live under a monarchy. So your opinion is invalid.
Is that the one from Canada?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So Christine keeps bringing up shit about Trump and keeps bringing up all these other things. She said some stuff about Charlie Kirk that was inaccurate, or at least about the Kirk assassination that was inaccurate. But the point is, you're welcome to have an opinion, but please, for the love of God, dig more into things other than listening to what your national news is telling you.
Or TikTok.
Now, Boston did have a large amount of people. I have not seen. Now, from what I've seen, there was roughly 7 million people overall.
I would.
I don't think in one city. Not in one city.
I don't think in one city. No.
No. I think 7 million people protested, period.
I can see being at Boston Common being a large, because it's such a large park.
Yeah. But they didn't have it there. They had it elsewhere.
No, it was at the Boston Common.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, because when I was doing the Freedom Trail, you could see the
where they were setting.
Where they
That's
were
right. You
going
said
to
that. You did say that. I'm sorry. I've had alcohol.
Yeah, like they had the sidewalk chalk. Like
Yeah.
once it start here, and then you follow
And
the arrows.
Apparently, there was a reasonably sized protest in Dallas, but Dallas is very lefty, so that makes sense. There's probably a reasonable sized one in Austin. Austin's very lefty. Every major city, period, would have had a very large one. California would have been bad. New York would have been bad. Boston, Chicago. Chicago was a big one because of all of the current drama going on in Chicago, where they're literally just trying to fucking get rid of illegal aliens. And the cops in Chicago were ordered to stand down and not help ICE when they called for help because they were being attacked.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that police, whoever that guy, that commander, needs to be fired and then brought under federal charges because he literally refused
to send
police to help federal agents who were under assault.
Yeah.
Like they were being rammed with vehicles and the illegal aliens were being helped to escape. That's what happened.
I'm kind of on the fence a lot about that because I know people who came here illegally as a child are DACA recipients.
But that's not their fault.
And that's not their fault.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's no way for them to become American citizens.
And that is wrong.
But I think Trump is trying to come up with the way for them to become American citizens.
So that was a big thing I know in his first administration where he was trying to end the DACA program.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people misinterpreted it.
End and send them back. Because my friend was like, "What am I don't know how to live in Mexico. I don't know how."
And here's the complicated nature of it. Yes, they are illegal, and yes, they probably should be deported. However, if they all leave voluntarily, they have a road to come back. If you fight them and they have to deport you forcibly, odds are it's going to be worse for you. Now, here's what I agree with because we know people who are dealing with this situation. In the DACA program entirely, where they're taxing you to live here and you'll never be a citizen. You're just constantly living under the fear.
A lot to work.
So, and I agree, and I've talked about it on the show before.
Like $2,000 or more a year.
Yeah, so basically like property tax effectively just to keep living here illegally.
Just to work. Just
to be able to work. But you don't have a green card, you don't have anything. You're a half citizen. Mm-hmm. You're a citizen of nothing, and you're treated as something like that. Now, here's the problem. They need to end that program entirely, but because it's made so much money, that's the reason they probably won't. Mm-hmm. But because there is no path for citizenship for DACA people, because that is it's halfway to the anchor baby problem. Just like the anchor baby program needs to be absolutely ended. Just because you landed here or you climbed over a fucking fence to give birth 20 feet inside the fucking property line does not make your child a fucking citizen. I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
Now, I'm a child of immigrants. So I'm going to say this, and I've said it before. My parents, my mom and her family came here legally. They went through the they
had to get sponsorships.
They had to go through the 7-year-long process to get everyone because they came
through Ellis Island in New York, right?
They came through Ellis Island, and then they came and got to Texas eventually. And I
think at one point your mom's family was contemplating Canada too.
Because there was a large Ukrainian contingency that went to Canada. That's how my Uncle George ended up there.
Yeah.
So my Uncle George, his family, because they got split up back in the old country, half of them ended up in Canada.
Yeah.
That's why he reunited with his sister that he didn't know that was still alive.
Oh, wow.
When they were both nearly elderly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she lived in Canada. He did not. They got split up. They didn't even know the other person was alive until the early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
Or late 90s. Either way. But the point is, and they're like, well, because you're a child of immigrants, you should be for all this. I am for immigration. Legal immigration. Mm-hmm. All illegals who came here forcibly because they knew that they could under Joe Biden's reign. And even before that, if you came here illegally on purpose because you knew you could come here, make a fuckload of money under the table.
And send all your money back to your country, to your family. Yes.
I believe that you should be rounded up. And if you don't want to leave, you should have to pay a nominal fine to stay here. You should be taxed to hell if you're going to... there should be 200% taxes on remittances. No. That's the money they send back. If you're making money here just to send to a foreign country, you need to be taxed more than you've made. Yeah, you should go in the fucking hole over that so that you'll stop doing it. Either you go back or they come here, and you got to do it legally. And then you become a real citizen. You pay proper taxes. You pay into the system that you've been draining. Like even now, the Democrats have the government shut down over part of it is trying to give fucking Medicaid to illegals. American tax dollars going to fully pay for the medical coverage of people who aren't citizens. Mm-hmm. When we can't get proper medical coverage for just normal people.
For our children.
Yeah, for normal fucking
people.
We
don't have children, but children of America. There's children here in America who citizens who don't have medical insurance or their parents make too much to get them on government assistance.
Yeah. And don't even get me started on Obamacare. Obamacare has done nothing but make it worse. It destroyed the medical insurance system. That's why everything costs more, even with insurance. And it's almost all down to Obamacare. I'm sorry, the Affordable Care Act.
All right,
That
can we
also,
get back to Salem?
we will get back to Salem, but I wanted to get off on the no kings
We
thing.
said no kings and got to like Medicare, Medicaid.
Well, because it's all part of it.
yeah.
It's all part of it. It's all people who have no fucking understanding of it. But here's the other thing. There's some young people who are out there doing stuff in their like 20s and 30s who have no fucking clue what's going on in the world. They've been
They
told.
only listen to what they see on TikTok or
Exactly.
what's the news that the Fox News or
Fox News is the only conservative news, and they're not even that conservative. But CNN, MSNBC, all of the other ones have been telling you for over a decade now that Trump is evil. He's Hitler. He's trying to become king. And you know what's funny? I appreciate that Trump plays into it. He actually said, oh, thank God. I'm so glad you guys are out there making sure there's no king that can take away my power, but I'm still your president, so I'm glad you're all out there. It's like the man is trolling them hardcore. You know, it's just fine. Or somebody in control of his social media accounts is trolling people hardcore. But either way, the No Kings protest is fucking retarded. We don't have a king. We've never had a king. We don't want a king. The only people who wanted a king in recent history is the people who's the progressive Democrats. They want a hardcore authoritarian leader, but their hardcore authoritarian leader. If Kamala Harris was doing all the things they wanted Joe Biden to do, taking power, taking away people's guns, getting rid of Congress, packing the courts, fucking overblowing Congress, killing the Senate, killing the filibuster, killing what's the other thing I forgot? I had it in my head and then it's gone. Either way, basically getting rid of all the ability for people to democratically elect their people. And just having someone who's forced to the front and told you are going to lead now, which is what happened with Kamala Harris. They skipped the Democratic policy entirely, anointed the person who was going to run for president. Because they didn't even have the primary. She wasn't in the primary. There wasn't one because it was supposed to be Joe Biden. Do you know who else does that? Monarchies. Either way. Going back out of it. So we had to do our political talk. Sorry, this is also a very long podcast, guys. I know because we're talking about an entire weekend's worth of shit, but it is what it is. And also, she comes on maybe once a year. So it is what it is. Go back to your Salem.
So Salem, I actually did see a couple of YouTube guys that I don't follow, but I see their shorts and stuff.
The videos, not their pants.
That's right. They're reels.
Hey, you said it right.
So they were going around, repent now, and that everybody there's sinners because it's witchy and stuff. And I'm more of a history thing behind it. Like I want to know the history.
Yeah, why didn't you repent after going there? Because you went to it. You literally wearing a witchy shirt, going to the witchy place, following witches. You literally followed
but the
witches
guys,
in the darkness.
yeah, they were saying that out loud, but really everybody was just ignoring them. They're like, whatever, nobody, no arguments, no fighting. So that was pretty cool. Not that I saw. So I did finally get to find where the trolley was, but they go, oh, well, we don't know if we can get you on this next one because, we stop at 4 and at this time it was already 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, crap. So I was like, I'm just going to go back, just go back to Boston. I don't want it to be walking through downtown Boston in the dark. So
yeah,
I got back on the train and on the way back, people were standing up and like there was no seats. And I sat with some guy. He was from Miami. His son was going to Harvard there and they're visiting. and so he sat with me and, we just rode the train back home or back to the station. And then I walked all the way back to my car, which was an easier walk because then I recognized where I was walking. And I was like, okay, I remember this hotel. That's where I need to go because I knew my parking garage is right next to that hotel. But at the same time, I still felt really safe. Maybe because I was in the tourist section of downtown Boston.
yeah.
Still felt really safe. There was a couple when I went down an alley that didn't look too well, but I didn't see like any homeless. I saw maybe 1 or 2 homeless people in that area. But some guy that's local was saying that, as long as you just don't go now to the east side of Boston or something, stay on the north end, and then you're fine. So I got back to the car, called you, and went back to the hotel and had dinner. I was sitting at the bar, had dinner, was talking to this lovely couple. And thank God I did, because they were the sweetest couple. They don't have children either. They're just traveling around and saying, I need to go visit Philadelphia. I need to go visit this. I need to go do that. And we were talking about, me catching my plane in the morning.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, well, why don't you take your rental car back tonight? And I'm like, you can do that? He's like, yeah, take it back tonight. You don't have to hassle with it in the morning. And he goes, just call the hotel to come pick you up. And I was like, well, how long does the shuttle run? The shuttle at the hotel is 24 hours. So, and every 10 or 15 minutes, there's a shuttle that goes to the airport. And it just rotates, and they just keep going. I didn't realize that. So, I did that. And I bought some gummy bears, and I left them in the car.
Yeah, right. You called.
So shout out to the Boston rental car people, the guy that helped me because I was going the wrong way. He goes, hey, where are you going? And I was like, where's the exit? And they're like, that way. And I'm like, oh, so yeah, I got lost a lot, but it was an adventure. And
Sorry, guys. I'm stretching my neck off camera if you hear me groaning. My neck is so out of whack right now.
Yeah. So.
And I'm tipsy, so that doesn't help.
And I, got back to the hotel and packed up and watched some TV and fell asleep.
Yep. And so that was still Saturday because you were coming home Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Early.
So Sunday I get up, I get in the shuttle, and so don't have to worry about taking my car back. Because if I had to have taken my car back, then I have to get on a shuttle to my terminal.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I got to the airport, I couldn't hear their terminals of where I needed to go. So one, I was scared I was going to get lost again and miss my flight.
Well, your United app would have told you. I don't know if you noticed, the United app has an entire walkthrough and map and everything to tell you where to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't know what stop to get at because I couldn't hear.
Well, that's why they also have
because they tell you
signs.
No,
The
they
bus.
didn't on this one.
Mine did. My shuttle bus had a big old sign that said, hey, we're getting off at this terminal.
Oh, glad for you.
Yeah. Apparently the Baltimore buses are better than the Boston buses.
Probably.
Fuckers.
So anyways, I got through, and I got there early because they had the regatta there. So there was 11,000 rowers where they rowed the Charles Regatta. The rowers.
Uh-huh.
They're in those skinny boats.
Yeah.
That was going on there in Boston. And
I know
so,
MIT does that shit.
So even
because that's where MIT is also in Boston.
yeah. So my United Airlines app sent a message that said, hey, just, security at maybe a little bit longer. You might want to leave a little early for your flight.
Oh, I know. I
So-
also got so I added her as the passenger to the United app under my account. So every notification she got, I got. So I was like, what the fuck? Why is my phone going off so much? And I look, oh, it's the United app. Okay.
Yeah. So, and it was really,
I got to see how many points we earned.
so it dropped me off. I got to my terminal. I got through security, maybe, I don't know. By the time I got dropped off through the security would have been maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If even that. Like it was quick. And then it was funny to say people yelling at you, keep the line moving, don't stop, have your ID ready, what you doing, pay attention. Like they're just yelling at you to go through. Like I know they're not being rude, but they're just trying to keep the flow. Because there are people who didn't have their driver license ready or didn't have their tickets pulled up or their boarding pass pulled up. So then I found my way to where my gate was. And then I said, okay, I found my gate. So then I stopped at Dunkin', got some breakfast, and I actually sat at the end of the terminal and watched the planes fly off for a little bit.
So what you're telling me is you probably would have had time to actually return your car in the morning.
I definitely.
Yeah, because as far as I know, you got to your terminal like 3 hours early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you had lots of time.
I had lots of time, which was fine. And I sat around, I watched videos. I went and looked at some of the shops, just kind of walked around, went and got some water.
So I think because of time, because basically what
Anyway, so we flew home, got home.
yeah, so basically so for time reasons,
But I hit a lot of turbulence coming home.
yeah, so we're at 3 hours and 20 minutes as it goes.
Sorry.
No, it's fine because we had a lot to talk about. I'm going to pass up what I did for my Saturday, and I will save it for the next episode because we're going to be recording a normal episode tomorrow. So I will talk about my adventures at Ranger Creek Distilling and everything else I did in San Antonio before coming home and then what I did for that day. I'll save that for the next episode, which at least Heffy will be back for. Hopefully Chad will be able to get some free time. He hasn't been on here in several episodes. I want Chad to come back. Yeah. I know Louis wants to come back on. He failed to come last weekend because that's how everybody failed. It's like I lost Chad initially, then I lost Heffy. I already had Louis lined up, and then he's like, nope, I can't come either. Fuck. So out of 3 co-hosts on that day, nobody could make it. But also, guys, like I said, I did vlog a good portion of the trip for myself. Obviously, I didn't get any behind-the-scenes video or anything like that at the show. I got an accidental video. I was trying to do the thing where you take like a whole bunch of fast pictures and then end up videoing instead. I was like, shit. Oh well, whatever. So I will show off in the vlog a lot more of my unsubscribe journey and also the trip I had, or the rest of my trip on my way back home. But I will say I got home very late Saturday night, like close to midnight is when I finally got home. And it's not because the trip was that long. It just, I made one extra stop on my way home, and I was there for a long, long time. So either way, guys, make sure you do the like and subscribe thing. If you want to see the vlogs and you want to see a lot more other stuff, go check out the Shoky Reviews Patreon. Also, we got to do laundry and go to the grocery store and everything
And
else.
clean.
Fuck the cleaning part.
No,
we're not cleaning.
I need to clean
I'm
my
not
house.
cleaning anything.
No
Cleaning. I'm declaring it now. There's no cleaning other than laundry.
Okay, well then you have to do it tomorrow when you get off work.
Nope. Either way, no cleaning till next weekend. It's fine. So, guys, this will be coming out right before like the big Halloween thing. So we will be doing an episode tomorrow with the guys. We're going to do our top 5 Halloween candies. So make sure you drop that in any communications you want, and because that episode won't drop before Halloween, I hope you guys had a safe and happy Halloween, whatever it is you did. Odds are I'm going to dress up in my same Ukrainian gangster outfit because I don't have anything else that would remotely fit me. So, and then you'll probably be like a cute butterfly thing again, or whatever it is.
I don't know.
Well, we're going to Frankenbolt's Halloween party on Sunday, so get your shit together.
Oh, this Sunday?
This coming Sunday, the 26th.
We got to go shopping.
For?
A Halloween costume for me.
You got to go shopping. I'm going to be wearing my tracksuit. Because what else would I wear? But it's an all-day thing, market and everything. So, guys, if you're in the area, because you will hear this beforehand, and you want to come out to Frankenbolt's out in Dobbin, go check out Frankenbolt's Brewing on the Facebooks. Go check out the event. It's going to be a huge market day. Costume contest, Halloween party, all that shit. So if you want to come and join us out there, I will be out there. The wifey will definitely be out there because I said so. Heffy might be out there. I haven't got the chance to talk to them just yet, but perhaps we will see other friends of the show out there. But if you hear this and you want to come and join, if you're in the area, by all means, come check it out. The new pumpkin beer was actually really good, and along with the new random stout that he also put together. So I will see you guys then. And I know you're still somewhat new to the show, baby. But do you know our sign off?
It doesn't have to be.
Nope, that's the other show.
Oh.
That's the other show.
I
So
don't
we're
know.
just I'm gonna say, and with that, and then we say K bye together. All right, You ready? So guys, make sure you do that like and subscribe thing. Come check us out next time. And of course, thank Miss Shoky, aka Jessica, for actually coming on the show, because she never ever wants to fucking do this and will not be watching this because she can't stand to look at herself on camera. Even though she's so pretty. She's so pretty. Tell her she did a good job, and tell her how
Yeah, be nice.
how good of a radio
Better
voice
be
she
nice
has.
to me.
She has a great radio voice, and she never wants to be on camera. But either, guys, we'll see you next time. And with that, okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Did I get it right?